Hello everyone and welcome back to Leeton, and thanks for joining me. It's a lovely sunny day again, but the ground is frozen solid and I'm not going to go out there and start walking on it and damaging the soil structure more. So today's video is all about pricking out and potting on. And these lettuce that I've got here, these salad leaves and lettuce, some of them are actually now ready to prick out and pot on. So here we've got iceberg and here we've got mixed salad leaves, pick and come again salad leaves. So I think these are the main ones that need to be pricked out and potted on. The iceberg I might leave a little bit longer, they've got more room in there to go. So let's get on with it. So what I've got here is a mixture of shop bought compost and vermiculite. And all I'm going to do is quickly sift through it, pull out any big pieces of wood, etc. And if you're not certain what vermiculite is, it's just an expanded rock and it aids with drainage in the compost. So for especially things like lettuce that don't like wet roots, it's not a bad idea to add some vermiculite to it. If you haven't got vermiculite, you could use sharp sand or any fine grit, just to aid with the drainage. It just makes the soil a bit lighter and fluffier and what have you. So when I sow seedlings, I just put them in compost. I'm not too bothered about it. The seed has all the energy and what have you that the plant needs to get established, so to get out of the ground and start to grow. And that's what these have done. But I think some of these shop bought composts now are not the best, and they don't have that much nutrition in them for seedlings to then go on to the next stage and really start putting on new growth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add to this mix just a little bit of fish blood and bone, and that will help to give the plants some nutrition and help them grow into strong, healthy crops. So I'm not going to put a lot in, a couple of handfuls probably. I'm just going to sprinkle it over the surface and then mix it in. Now you don't want to go too much. You don't want it all that rich that it overloads the young plants, the young seedlings. But adding a little bit will certainly help them. Now you don't have to do this, you could just use the compost, and depending on the quality of the compost that you've got will depend on how well the plants do. But obviously what I want to do is move these young seedlings on to larger pots so that they can continue their growth and be in a really strong, healthy position when I pot them out, or plant them out, sorry, later in the year. So I'm going to use one of these trays from Wilco's, which I thought was really good, because it has these lift out pots, these little pots, and basically like a big module tray, but slightly more robust. And if this plastic breaks in a few years, I've still got the pots. I thought that was quite clever. So what I'm going to do is take out some of these pots, start with that for now, and I'm just going to fill these with this potting mix. So those of you that haven't watched the channel before, thank you very much for coming along. The channel's all about our journey to become a bit more self-sufficient in fruit, vegetables, probably eggs, maybe some honey as time goes on. And you've joined the channel in its early stages. We are second year in this house, and we're just starting to develop the growing spaces and the veg plot. And if you just go back on the channel recently, I've put up quite a few videos of the progress that we've been making. And thank you to all the new subscribers that have joined us lately. Really is appreciated. You never know when you start these channels whether or not it's going to be of interest to anybody. So thank you very much for that. Okay, so we've got a few pots there. I'm going to put this tray away. So people use different things for pricking out, and all pricking out is lifting these young seedlings out of the compost and putting them in their own individual pot or module in a module tray. And a module tray is this sort of thing. Okay, individual modules in a tray. So what I like to do is lift the plants out with a pencil. You could use a plant label, something like these, but I find a pencil pretty good. Now you'll notice that on these seedlings, so if we were to take this one here, you notice it's two seedling leaves, which are the first two leaves that come out of the ground, and then it's got what you could call its adult leaves starting to grow, one there and a tiny one there. What's really important when you're pricking things out is that you don't grab the stem of the plant, because you could damage it, and if you damage the stem, well, the plant's had it. And if you can avoid it, don't touch the adult leaves as well. So what you can do is actually hold on to the seedling leaves, because if you kill one of those leaves, it probably isn't going to affect the plant too much. So I'm going to lift up some of these, and you have to be fairly careful. So let's take that one there, holding the seedling leaf, and just move the compost away from the plant, and there we have a baby lettuce plant or salad leaf plant. And then make a hole in the pot, push him down, just firm it in gently, and there we have a transplanted seedling ready to grow on in its own individual pot to be planted out in a few months' time. So that one's going to go in the tray, and basically we just repeat that process now for the others. So there's quite a big one. Now you'll notice that some of these are really quite small, like that one. I'm probably not going to even bother transplanting that one. That one will go in the compost. I'm only wanting to transplant the strong seedlings that have come on and are going to have the best chance of continuing to grow. And there's another one. And you can plant them a little bit deeper as long as you're not burying the leaves when it comes to things like lettuce. So you can see there, seedling leaf, adult leaf, adult leaf. And that's all there is to it really. There's quite a decent one. So I'm going to hold the seedling leaf, gently take the roots, make a hole. Don't worry too much with things like lettuce if the roots coil up a bit in the hole, they'll sort themselves out. So we've got quite a few here, and the reason I've done so many salad leaves, the pick and come again salad leaves, is because they can be growing and we can keep picking and eating those while the iceberg develops into full heart lettuce, because we do like our salads and we do like iceberg, so we are growing what we eat or like to eat. Let's take that one. So we can keep picking the pick and come again salad leaves while the iceberg grow, ready for harvest. So what we got here? So any that I'm not sure about, I'm just going to put to one side there. And just try and take the bigger ones there we go. And I don't get too precious over having to throw away some of the smaller seedlings. It hasn't cost a lot to sow these, and it all goes in the compost, and at the end of the day it goes back into the cycle to feed the garden. Let's go into this bit. There's quite a big one. I can get it. And this is as simple or as complicated as it gets. There is really nothing difficult about pricking out and potting on. And all you got to do is just be a bit careful, don't get yanking the roots about and what have you, because they are very easy to break. And as long as you're gentle with them, they'll be absolutely fine. Now I'm going to put these in these pots, give them a few days to settle into their new homes. Let this really cold weather on a night that we're having pass, and then these will be getting hardened off and going into an unheated greenhouse. Now I obviously will be keeping my eye on the weather to make sure we're not going to have any big frosts. If there is, then I'll just bring them in, put them in here for the night or 2 nights, whatever it is. And that's all it's about at this time of year really, is it's trying to start your seeds as early as we can, but protecting them and stopping them from frost damage. And we're certainly getting a few frosts at the moment. So we're in Shropshire, sort of in the middle of the UK. I've got 2 there. we're certainly getting some minus temperatures on a night time. There's a good one. Excuse me, got a bit of a cold, I think. There we go. Oh, that was a quite good one. I'll just do a few more. Do another row. All I'm trying to do is pick out the bigger ones. Love these little pots, I think they're brilliant. And because they're little pots in the tray, you don't have to do all the squeezing of these modules, plastic modules that then break. You can take the pot out and do it like a normal transplant. Really good. So let's just go in there. It's not a bad one. Just do these few pots and then these pots are big enough to let them grow on for a good few weeks at this time of the year, and develop their root systems using the nutrients in the compost and the fish blood and bone that I've put in to get cracking and produce healthy, strong plants. So that's going to be enough. Like I said, the iceberg I'm going to leave to grow on a little bit more. Now, these plants here will probably continue. They might look a bit sad for a few days. So all I'm going to do is put these back in, these smaller ones. I'm not going to be too fussy about how they go in the ground. They'll live or they won't. Doesn't want to go in. There we go. And these, if you like, are your spares, your backups, just in case the others that we've just transplanted for whatever reason don't make it. You've still got some spare. There we go. Okay, I'm not going to worry. Let's straighten those up. There we go. I'm just going to leave those to do their thing. They'll go back on the windowsill now. So here are our potted on, pricked out and potted on salad leaves. So they need a good water now, and all I've got is a pot bottle, some tiny holes drilled in the top, and just important to make sure that your water isn't freezing cold. This has been filled up and sat in here for a few days, so I know that this water is roughly the same temperature as the room, therefore roughly the same temperature as the compost, etc. So there shouldn't be any real shock to the plants. And I'm going to give them good watering in. Now these might look a little bit limp, sad for themselves for a day or so, but they will pick up, and once they've got their own little growing space, they will soon start to put on new growth I want to give these, make sure these are well watered, but it's important that the compost you're using is well draining for lettuce, and that's where the vermiculite comes into its own. So there we go. We'll put a label. Did have some labels, there it is, there. So I'll put the label there, and then I know that everything this side of that label is the same. It's all salad leaves, and when the iceberg grow on a little bit, I'll probably put those on this side. Well, thanks for watching everyone, much appreciated. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber already, please subscribe. We've got lots of videos coming up as we develop the veg garden, etc. So yeah, subscribe, hit the bell icon and then notifications so you don't miss any more updates, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.